Raging Blast. That's all I have to say, because that's the punchline. What a piece of shit. Why is Spike allowed to take the Dragon Ball Z license and rape it in the ass on a constant basis with their games? So I sat down to play their first game released for the current generation of consoles, which is the fourth in the series. What the fuck? Is it? Could it? It's actually worse than Dinkachi 1. In Dinkachi 1 you used to be able to lock onto your opponent when you lost sight of him. Yeah, well, that's gone, but guess what? You can still lock off your opponent. What fucking retard thought it would be a good idea to allow you to lose sight of your opponent in a 1v1 fighting game? This is the only game I've ever played where I can say the camera is completely game-breaking, and I have played Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. The camera is fucking horrible. You can fight underwater, but I would only recommend it if you don't want to see what you're doing, don't want to see where your opponent is or what he's doing, and want to basically look at the fucking surface of the water while you're both underwater fighting. The camera is so bad it's hard to put into words. One of the best ways to judge a video game camera is by how much you notice it. If you do not notice what the camera is doing, you can bet that it's a good camera. If you take notice of the camera, it's usually obstructing what you're trying to do. The camera in Raging Blast is a fucking entity. It exists within the game world. It's not a tool to help the player interact with the game with ease. The camera in Raging Blast actually becomes a gameplay element you have to constantly monitor. For example, if the opponent flies into the water, in a good game you would have to ask yourself, should I follow him into the water or stay out, which is the best tactical move? In Raging Blast you ask yourself, oh shit, if I follow him into the water, the motherfucking camera will most likely spaz out and fuck me in the ass, while the opponent takes off half my life bar. With the news of Raging Blast 2, I can't help but wonder, why are people buying these games? They are not good, and even the most hardcore of Dragon Ball Z fans must realize this. Imps make good fighting games using the Dragon Ball license. Spike make Dragon Ball games. They try to emulate the anime series and translate it to video games. It doesn't fucking work, despite what the Spike fans will tell you. If the gameplay sucks, who gives a shit? If it's closer to emulating the series, I would rather a Dragon Ball game with a good base under the license than a game that throws everything into making the authentic Dragon Ball experience that in the end translates poorly to the video game format.